What's going on YouTube? Chase here on Aftershock Videos, and welcome back to another episode of Dueling Nexus Duels. Today's profile is a suggestion from a friend of mine. He wanted to see Salamangreats in action, and I think he said he was building one of these decks for one of his buddies in the past and never got around to doing it. So I decided, hey, I'll check it out for myself. Never played Salamangreats, but I have played against them. So the best thing I thought of were the Salamangreat Code Talker variation, and it's been really fun. And actually, it's a pretty good OTK if you can manage to pull everything off the way it's supposed to be. So before we get into that, though, I do want to say I do have another Aftershock Videos new shirt for the 50th subscriber. I will send it to you free as a thank you. And as always, if you're interested in any of these cards, please feel free to check out my TCGPlayer account. I will leave the link for it below in the description. And if you send me a message on there with your purchase, just mentioning Aftershock Videos, I will upgrade your order to priority shipping for free, just as another thank you. So I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Let's get into the Dueling Nexus. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are on Dueling Nexus with my Salamangreat Code Talker deck profile. We're going to just go ahead and start off with the deck list. It's starting off with Salamangreat Foxer. This one says if you have 3 or more Salamangreat monsters in your graveyard, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. Then target one Salamangreat Link monster in your graveyard and one card your opponent controls in their spell and trap zones. Return that targeted monster from your graveyard to the extra deck, and then you get to destroy that spell or trap that your opponent controls. So this is a great way to recycle your Salamangreat Link monsters, or one of your Salamangreat Link monsters, and one destruction on the field. So you only need one of those. I got one Salamangreat Beat Bison. If you have 3 or more Salamangreat monsters in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand in defense position. So it's a free special summon. If you have 3 or more in the graveyard, you can target Fire Link monsters in your graveyard up to the number of face-up cards your opponent controls. Return them to the extra deck. Then you can negate the effects of face-up monsters your opponent controls until the end of this turn, up to the number of cards you return. Not really going to deal too much with that second effect. I've never really initiated it or activated it, but that first effect of the special summoning is pretty good. So one of those, and we got 3 Parallel Exceed. Now this one is imperative to the OTK, because if you have one of these in your hand, it says if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Parallel Exceed, so itself, it becomes a level 4 and its original attack and defense becomes half. No big deal, you're probably going to be linking this away anyways. You can only use each effect of this once per turn. If you link summon, you can special summon this card from your hand to a zone that link monster points to. So free material on the phone on the board, and then if this card is special summon, you get to special summon another one from your deck. So it's, say you open up with Foxer, you go into the Baylinks, this card's in your hand, you get to special summon that, and then one from your deck, so you can go into a link 3 or link 2, and it just goes on from there. So it is imperative that you have 3 Parallel Exceeds. Next we have one Salamangreat Pero. This is a special summon when an opponent's monster declares an attack. You can special summon this card from your hand. Then we have a Salamangreat Jaguar. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict battle piercing damage, which is not that big of a deal. If you control a Salamangreat Link monster while this card is in your graveyard, you can target one Salamangreat monster in your graveyard except itself. Shuffle that target into the deck, and if you do, special summon this card to your zone your Salamangreat Link monster points to. So this is another good card. It's kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it has its opportunity, but not super reliable. Not something happens too often. So this is just a good normal summon monster, and just so happens to have an effect that's situational. That's the word I was looking for. So that's where we have that. Next we have 2 Salamangreat Fowls. It is a level 4 with 1800 attack, 200 defense. If a Salamangreat monster except itself is normal or special summoned to your field, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand, which is awesome. And then it says you can special summon this card from your hand if you can only use this effect use this effect, the special summoning effect, once per turn. You can send one Salamangreat card, not monster, not just spells or traps, but a Salamangreat card, from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard. Then target one set trap spell your opponent controls. That set card cannot be activated this turn. So this is awesome if you think your opponent is setting a Torrential Tribute or Mirror Force or anything that could be a pain in your butt. So we have 2 of those. Of course, 3 Lady Debugs. It is a search for a level 3 or lower Cyberse monster to put from your deck to your hand. Definitely got to have that. Everything's Cyberse, except for the hand traps. Excuse me, we got 1 Salamangreat Wolvie. Monster that was link summoned using this card as material cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects for the rest of this turn. And you can only activate one of these effects once per turn. If this card is special summoned from the graveyard, you can target 1 fire monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Again, Salamangreats are great for recycling themselves. If this card is added from your graveyard to your hand by an effect, you can reveal this card, then target 1 fire monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Look at that. More recycling. So, not needing a whole bunch of those. So we're only going to have 1. Next we have, of course, the limited Salamangreat Gazelle, which is basically the foolish burial of the deck. It says, if a Salamangreat monster is sent to your graveyard except itself, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summon, so on top of something getting sent to the graveyard, not destroyed or anything like that, you could just, after you link the Salamangreat monster off from your field, and this is in your hand, boom, you get a special summon. If this card is normal or special summoned, which it probably will be, you can send 1 Salamangreat card from your deck to the graveyard, and that is imperative with the card that is coming next. Not next, but the next one. Next we have 2 Flame Buffaloes, or should be Bufferlo. Right? I'm not crazy. Bufferlo, yeah, okay. So anyways, this is if this face-up card leaves the field, whether it was destroyed or linked off or whatever, discard 1 Cyberse monster, and if you do, draw 2 cards. It is a +1 off itself. Got 2 of those, and next for the Salamangreat Gazelle, we have triple Salamangreat Spinies. If you control a Salamangreat card, you can discard this card, then target 1 face-up card on the field against 500 attack until the end of this turn. If you control a Salamangreat monster other than itself, and this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field, which is fine. We just want to flood the field as much as we can so we can do all of our link climbing. So that is awesome. It can special summon itself from the graveyard as long as you have a Salamangreat monster on the field. Next we have the Salamangreat Foxy, I believe, or Foxy. So this one is, when this card is normal summon, you can excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, which is pretty awesome. That's like a magical circle for Dark Magicians. And if you do, you can add 1 excavated Salamangreat card to your hand. Also shuffle the rest into the deck. If this card is in your graveyard and a face-up spell trap is on the field, you can discard 1 Salamangreat card, special summon this card, then you can destroy 1 face-up spell trap on the field. This card is pretty good. Now, I don't think it's necessary to run more than 1. However, you could swap it out with the Foxer if you prefer this more than the other one. So, play it however you want. This is how I'm playing it. Next, we have 2 Ash Blossoms, of course, for hand trap shenanigans. Got 2 DD Crows in case you run into anybody who's playing a lot of graveyard shenanigans. Next, we have 3 Signet Minings. Send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, add 1 level 4 or lower Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand. I mean, graveyard effects, adding cards to your hand. The recycling and synergy with all this is just phenomenal. We have 1 Signet Fusion, which is great because you can use stuff from your field or face up on the field or from your hand. And I'll explain why you're going to be needing that later. 1 Pot of Avarice, target monsters in your graveyard, 5 monsters in your graveyard, shuffle all 5 into the deck, then draw 2 cards. Again, with the recycling, you can run more than 1. Haven't really needed it so far. We have 1 Salamangreat Recurrence. This is target 2 Salamangreat monsters in your graveyard with different names. Add them to your hand. If this set card is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Salamangreat spell trap from your deck to your hand, and you can only use each effect once per turn. So this is basically the special, the urgent schedule of Salamangreats. It's awesome. 1 Call by the Grave to deal with other people's hand trap shenanigans. Next we have 1 Salamangreat Burning Shell, which is a quick play spell. Special summon 1 Salamangreat monster from your hand, but negate its effects. Then, immediately after this effect resolves, link summon 1 Salamangreat Link monster using materials you control, including the summon monster, which is fine because if you're gonna use it, if you have this in your hand, you're obviously gonna be using it to link summon. So, if you open up with this card, that will come in very handy. This turn, that link summon monster cannot attack or activate its effects. During the main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 Salamangreat Link monster in your graveyard, return it to the extra deck. The special word of the day here today is synergy. It works really well in the graveyard, the field, and you get lots of searches from your decks and drawing cards. So this is really, really good. Next, you have your 1 limited Salamangreat Circle. It's a quick play spell. You can add 1 Salamangreat monster from your deck to your hand. Awesome. Target 1 Salamangreat Link monster you control that was link summoned using a monster with the same name as material. That Link monster is unaffected by monster effects this turn. Cool. Except its own. And then you can only activate 1 per turn, which is more than enough. Next, one of the best spell cards of the Salamangreat archetype is the Will of the Salamangreat. This is a continuous spell, and during your main phase, you can special summon 1 Salamangreat monster from your hand or graveyard. Adding to your hand, dumping stuff to the graveyard. This is just awesome. And this card is not, it's a soft once per turn, so if you have more than 1 on the field, you can activate it. So you can send this face-up card from the field to the graveyard, then target 1 Salamangreat Link monster you control that was link summoned using a monster with its same name as material. Special summon Salamangreat monsters from your hand or graveyard in defense position up to that number of that monster's link rating. Floodgates, look out. This deck is just trying to get everything on the field. And that's exactly what we want. Next we have the field spell, which is 1 Salamangreat Sanctuary. Now, you don't need more than 1 of this, or really terraforming for that matter, because when you go into the Salamangreat Balinks, it searches it right off the bat. So, if you link summon a Salamangreat monster, you can use 1 Salamangreat Link monster you control with its same name as the entire material. So you can go into multiple Salamangreat Link monsters, and you can use itself as the whole material. During damage calculation, if your monster battles, you can pay 1,000 life points, then target 1 Link monster you control. Make its attack 0, and if you do, gain life points equal to its original attack. So, I guess that just keeps you from dying. I've never used that effect, but it does help with the recurrence of the Link summoning monsters. Next, we have 2 Infinite Impermanence. They've gotten a little bit cheaper, I want to say, since the maximum gold. Next, we have for the last card for the main deck is 1 Salamangreat Roar. When a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated while you control a Salamangreat Link monster, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. While this card is in the graveyard, if a Salamangreat Link monster is link summoned to your field using a monster with its same name as material, you can set this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. And you can only use 1 Salamangreat Roar effect once per turn, and only once that turn. So that is a hard once per turn, but that's pretty good. Next, we're going to go ahead and go in the extra deck. We're going to go from right to left. We got our single Salamangreat Mirage. I almost forgot how to pronounce that. It's a link 1, so that's going to help get the combos going. Same with the 2 Salamangreat Balinks. I have 2 of these and not of the Mirage because I like the search effect of the Salamangreat Sanctuary. So we got running 2 of those. And then next we have the Predaplant Birth to Anaconda. This is optional. I figured I needed slots to fill. This will help with the fusion monster. Don't worry, Dragoon is not in this deck, as you can see. This is a really a pretty fair deck until you start getting it going. But just so happens if something doesn't go your way, you can dump the fusion, Signet Fusion, and then you can go into your fusion monster. Next, we have one Splash Mage. This, when you link summon this, you could special summon a Cyberse monster from your graveyard into defense position, but negate its effects, which is fine. You just want to get more bodies on the field. Next, we have two Salamangreat Sunlight Wolves, just to kind of not really use them as much, but they're there for when you need them. This one says if a Salamangreat monster is, it requires two fire effect monsters, and if a monster or monsters are normal summoned or special summoned to the zone this card points to, you can add one fire monster from your graveyard to your hand. But for the rest of this turn, you cannot normal summon, set, or special summon monsters with the added monster's name. During the main phase, if you control this card that was linked summoned using itself as material, you can add one Salamangreat spell trap from your graveyard to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. So, again, depending on the situational circumstances, that could come in handy. It's all about recycling. Just remember your toolbox. Each card has its own thing, and the more you put that to use, you just end up winning every time. This deck is so fun and flexible. So next, after the Sunlight Wolf, we have one Update Jammer. This one is a Link 2, and it takes level 2 or higher Cyberse monsters once per battle. During damage calculation, if your Cyberse monster battles quick effect, you can activate this effect, negate all other effects on the field until the end of the damage step. Damage calculation, blah blah blah. The main thing we're looking for here is if this card is sent to the graveyard as link material, that link monster can make a second attack during the battle phase. And for anybody who's ever played this deck, you know exactly which card I'm talking about, which is a key player for the OTK. Okay, after that we have Decode Talker. Can't have a Code Talker deck without it. Next we have a Trans Code Talker. This helps in the OTK combo. While this card is code-linked and its code-linked monster gets 500 attack. And then the main thing is if you can target one Link 3 or lower Cyberse Link monster in your graveyard, except itself, special summon it to your zone this card points to. So here we go with the special summoning. With a Splash Mage, and with this self, it helps keep, I guess you're seeing it now, it helps keep the ball rolling. And of course, for the big boy of the Link monsters, we have Access Code Talker. Now, this is one of the main, if not the main win condition of this deck. After you go into your Baylinks and your Splash Mage, then your Update Jammer, Transcode Talker, you finally get to your Access Code Talker. It eventually gets up to 5,300. I want to say 5,300 attack, and then it gets to attack twice. And each time you can activate its effect, which is banishing a Link, or maybe it's a Cyberse monster, one or the other. You can banish one Link monster. Okay, Link. So this is a Link monster. A Link monster on your field or graveyard, and you get to destroy one card your opponent controls. That's not once per turn. You can keep going until the field is empty and you cleared the way for your OTK, which is attacking twice at 5,300 attack. Game over. And then some more spots I just had to fill since we are playing quite a few level 4s, just in case you wanted to clear the board faster. We have the number 20, and it's gone. Hold that thought.
Meanwhile.
And I put it back. I don't know why it does that, but anyways. For your level 4s, we have a rank 4, number 27, Dreadnoid. I used to like to splash this one in my deck, in a few of my decks, especially if I'm using a lot of level 4s. At the end of the battle phase, if this card destroyed an opponent's monster by battle, you can special summon from your extra deck one rank 10 or higher machine XYZ monster. That could be so many good cards that you wouldn't think you would have access to. So that just pretty much goes in everything as long as this card destroys another card by battle. And then its detaches effects is just, if this card was going to be destroyed, detach material, not dead. And that's also, I believe, not once per turn. So for the big boys that it can go into, I have one Super Dimensional Robot Galaxy Destroyer. And this is required. Otherwise, it would require 3 level 10s. And once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, destroy all spells and traps your opponent controls. Your opponent cannot activate spell or trap cards in response to this effect's activation. That is really good. So, and with a 5,000 attack, 2,000 defense, it's a force to be reckoned with. And then, of course, we have a Zeus. Divine Arsenal Zeus, and that can either go from your battling. So even if you have your number 27 Dreadnought Dreadnoid attack, and it doesn't kill it, you detach the material from it to keep it from not dying if you're attacking an attack position monster or whatever. Because we all know if your XYZ machine monster battle this turn, guess what? Boom! Slap Zeus on the table, clear the board. And then for the final card in the extra deck is the Salamangreat Violet Chimera. Now this one is, I would say, more of a plan C for a win condition, just because it can potentially have the same effect as the Access Code Talker as far as damage-wise. Because this says it requires a Salamangreat monster and 1 Link monster. So, again, if your hand isn't that great, this is a good way to get a monster with pretty big attack and a pretty decent effect on the field. Once per turn, or once per battle, during damage calculation, if this monster battles, or not that one, sorry, if this card is fusion summoned, you can make this card gain attack equal to half the combined original attack of the materials used to summon it. So, it can be pretty big. If this monster battles a monster whose current attack is different from its original attack quick effect, you can double this card's attack during the damage calculation only. That is pretty cool. So, somebody asked me once, like, why am I still playing this? I think it's just another tool in the toolbox, buddy. So that'll do it for the Salamangreat deck profile. Now, let's go ahead and get into the duels, and let's see how this puppy. Okay, so here we are in the dueling zone. We're not even gonna bother with the bot. Let's just go ahead and go straight into a actual 1v1. And let's go ahead and pick Salamangreat Code Talker. And generally this deck you want to go second, because otherwise there'd be nothing for Access Code Talker to wipe off the board, and it's just not as funny. So let's go ahead and go rock. Okay, they're probably gonna pick paper. I want to go scissors. Wow, wasn't expecting that. You know how we go on the rock paper scissors around here. I almost never win. So this is pretty good if they make me go second. Perfect. And this is a pretty good hand. You have your Gazelle, which can dump a Spiny, which will special summon itself, and then you can special summon a Foul. So that's 3 monsters right off the bat. So we have a Called by the Grave. So if I dump the Spiny, I can stop an Ash. Let's go ahead and normal summon. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go ahead. So let's normal summon that. Okay, that's unfortunate, but not unplayable. So let's just go ahead and end the phase. Okay, let's see what this guy... Oh, he's got nothing. Okay, cool. Okay, we'll keep this in hand just in case. We will... So we can activate Spiny in the graveyard because we're going to special summon the Foul. So let's normal summon Spiny. Let's get the Foul out. Unless he has something. No, don't activate. It's going to ask me to activate Called by the Grave almost every turn. Okay, now we can go in the Banelings with Spiny. Okay, we get to search our Sanctum. So Salamangreat Sanctuary. Ah, you see? Get that out of here. And he quit. He knows what I was going to do. Let's go ahead and do one more duel. Okay, so unlike what I said earlier, people keep quitting on me, so we're just going to go ahead and go to a duel with the bot, because the bots don't quit, and hopefully we can get to go second again. And I get to choose. We're going to go second. So I really want you guys to see how this deck really combos off. It is phenomenal. Metaverse. Yes, let's not do that. One of these cards. Yes. Add one Salamangreat monster to my deck, and he has his own Ash. That's fine. So we got Will of the Salamangreat. Let's go ahead and activate that. And let's get this Beat Bison out here. Now we can normal summon Lady Debug. Let's get... So I get Spiny. Activate. Send it to the graveyard. One of them gets a power boost, whatever. And then we need to activate them in the graveyard. Free special summon. Now let's go ahead and go into Balinks. We'll use Lady Debug. Now we're going to get our Sanctuary Search. Activate that. Next, we can go into Splash Mage. We'll use Beat Bison and Balinks. Get a special summon. Next, we can go into rank 2, which is the Update Jammer. Okay, now we can go into Transcode Talker. Activate Update Jammer? No. We are going to special summon it with Transcode Talker. Now we are going to go into Access Code Talker. Two effects can be chained. We do want to activate Access Code Talker, and we're going to target Transcode Talker to get us to 5,300. And we're also going to activate Update Jammer because that'll help us get our double attack. So now, we can activate Access Code Talker's effect, and we can start banishing link monsters and destroying opponent stuff on the field. Let's go and get rid of Splash Mage. Get rid of that. And there we have it. Now, go ahead and go to battle phase. Attack once. No. Attack twice. No. There you have it. There is the Salamangreat Code Talker, Access Code Talker, OTK. This deck is super fun, and when it plays like that, nothing can stop it. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun to make. Shoutouts to my friend Josh for suggesting it. Otherwise, I would have never played it myself. So, huge shout out to him. Here again, I have a free Aftershock Videos t-shirt for my 50th subscriber. So make sure, if you guys check out this videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button at the bottom. It means so much to me, and it means that you guys are enjoying what I'm trying to the videos that I'm trying to make for you guys. Hopefully they're informative and maybe a little bit funny. So another reminder, if you like any of these cards, feel free to check out my TCGPlayer account. I'll leave the link in the description below, and just message me when you decide on a purchase, and just mention Aftershock Videos, and I'll upgrade your order to free priority shipping as a thank you and to help you get your cards faster. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys thought about it down below. Tell me what you would do different. What would you add? What would you take away from it? Please don't forget to like the video and leave a comment of what you think I should do a deck profile on next. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.